Yeah, one of these days, we will get the announcements to go viral, and then our YouTube channel can grow, and we will just fundraise based off paid advertising on our YouTube channel. But until then, I'll just keep populating it with different content. So last week, one of the things that I thought was really cool, they had a hearing on IT infrastructure in government, and Seth Moulton was a part of the hearing and gave a shout out to Code for Boston and the Windfall team. And so if y'all missed it, I posted the shout out on the YouTube channel. So if you want to see a congressman recognize our work in a hearing now in the congressional record. It was just a really awesome moment. It was completely unexpected. They didn't give us a heads up. They didn't say, oh, we're going to mention Code for Boston, Code for America, or the Windfall Project. But obviously, the folks at the Windfall Awareness team have worked so hard, and a project is now out there that, I think that when you get something like that, it's kind of nice to see that once a project's out there and folks are using it, they get excited about it. So definitely neat to see. I shared it out on the social media and in the Slack, but it's also on the YouTube if you all missed it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not. I don't
sorry,
understand.
Go ahead. Oh, not on the Slack?
Yeah. Do you mind sending the Slack to me?
Oh, yeah, it's just slack.codeforboston.org, and the link will come up in a minute once I get the announcements rolling. So let's at 7:05 we can start the announcements. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Code for Boston. My name is Matt, and I'm on the leadership team here at Code for Boston, along with we got Annie and Brian, who are my co-hosts tonight. If you have questions, need help with anything, feel free to ask one of us. We'll be more than happy to help you all out. The way this is going to work is we'll have some announcements and then some project updates. And after project updates, new folks will stay in this video chat with me, and we'll have new member orientation, which is not streamed on YouTube. And then everyone else will be able to head off and work on their projects in their various Slack channels and video chats. So with that, first and foremost, read our code of conduct at codeforboston.org/code of conduct. If you feel like folks aren't being respectful with you, that folks aren't following the code of conduct, you can Slack or email one of us on the leadership team or hello@codeforboston.org. Make sure to follow us on social media. I was just talking about YouTube, but we're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And every Wednesday, we also send out an email newsletter that has events, it has jobs, and it also has a written version of the project updates that folks share. So that way, our wider community can learn about those things. And so if you have content for the newsletter, whether it's something you forgot to include during the project stand-up and you want me to know about it, or a job posting or something like that, just send me a Slack message or email hello@codeforboston, and I can add that in. Make sure to RSVP at meetup.com/codeforboston. We get a lot of new members from Meetup, and so RSVPing there sort of helps boost us in the Meetup algorithm. And so that's how a lot more people find out about us. And then I try and remember to update the Zoom room. I did not remember to update the Zoom room this past week, at least not until Liani asked me to. So if I forget to update the Zoom room, don't be afraid to send me a direct message on Slack and remind me if it's for last week's, but otherwise I typically try and update it after the announcements. And then here's Slack. So to be on Slack, you need an invitation, and you can get that invitation at slack.codeforboston.org. This is where a lot of the collaboration on the projects happen, and this is how you keep in touch with us. So that's the best way to get connected and start going into the different chat rooms. Finally, donations. So we're entirely nonprofit, volunteer run. Our budgetary needs aren't huge, but they do exist. They are real. And, we're supported primarily by small and medium-sized individual donors, along with some organizations that sponsor workshops or a month of meetups. And so you can donate directly at codeforamerica.org/donate to a brigade. Or if you want to arrange a sponsorship of some sort from your organization to Code for Boston, talk to me or Harlan, and we'll be more than happy to set that up. And that's just, you can message me on Slack or email hello@codeforboston.org. Upcoming events this Friday at 3:30 p.m. The BARI conference will be doing their virtual conference session again. So Friends at BARI, the Boston Area Research Initiative, is at Northeastern University, and they do a lot of civic focused data projects and convenings. And so if you care about cities and you care about data, this is very much the conference for you. And this Friday's topic is going to be pollution across communities and places. So an opportunity, if you're passionate about the environment, to learn more about that. And if you can't make the virtual conference, which is on Zoom, there's also a podcast feed, which is a great option as well. And that's how I've been keeping up to date with it. And then finally, the closing keynotes going to be July 31st at 3:30 p.m. So that's going to be with Mayor Walsh. And I think it's going to be an interesting conversation and worth putting on your calendar if you have time to attend during the day. And then the other event I want to highlight coming up pretty soon, actually, is the Hobby Hacks event that Tech Together is putting on. Tech Together, they focus on events for software developers that identify as women or non-binary. And so they'll be holding a large virtual hackathon over that weekend. And I don't think they're looking for mentors anymore, but if you'd like to participate in the hackathon and you fit their audience, it's a good opportunity to get involved. They do lots of great work and some great programming. So now we're going to do project updates. And to do project updates, we're just going to talk about what we did last week, what we're doing tonight, and then any particular needs. And so we'll go in this order and start out with the folks at the My City Voice Apps.
Hey everyone, so last week we are continuing our work on making onboarding a bit easier for the project, as well as some of the feature requests that the City of Boston has requested. We're just going to continue on that this week. As far as what we need, if you are interested in Python development or working with Alexa, we have plenty of features and improvements that have been requested. So come join us.
Great, thanks Jamie. Nice to have Safe Water Project.
Hey everyone, so we welcome everyone interested in Python and Flask to work on our small web app deploying a predictive model. And tonight we will link our newly created Postgres database to our code. And we are especially looking also for a ArcGIS specialist to finish a prototype for a dashboard that visualizes historical water quality data. But anyone interested in data viz or building a small ETL process is welcome. And we have a group creating slides to help our partner know the users better. And the tool they use for this is Google Analytics. So anyone interested in Google Analytics is welcome to join our team. And finally, we have so we're still looking for folks interested in data analysis and analyzing data of a user research survey. Thank you.
Oh, I should clarify, we're not adding the Postgres database to like our production and stuff. We're going to be going through like a very basic version of it, and we have to add a lot more code to it. So
thanks, Daniel.
It's always the case, right, Daniel?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Daniel and Francois. Next is harm reduction.
Hey, so last week we kind of realigned our project, got back on the same page with our partner, and planned our next sprint worth of work. Tonight we received an email back from our partner, which was really exciting. So we're going to go over that, as well as discussing kind of questions for future UX research interviews, and sending some of those emails. So if you're interested in user research, we'd love for you to join us tonight.
Great, thanks, Maya. Job Hopper, you're up.
Yes. So last week we sort of got to a point in our design work where we've decided we need to now begin to build something, prototype it. And so this week we are breaking into smaller teams to do things like look at an API we want to use, to start to begin to figure out how we're going to visualize the data, look for some related data sets, and what's the source going to be. So lots and lots of work is beginning, and we are looking for folks who are interested in data visualization, data analysis, who are interested in programming in React and Django and Python. And if you've got any skills in C3 or D3, that would be really great. Also, so come and join us. There'll be something to do.
Great. And then Thad, are you plugging the
Yes, I am.
Vita?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. So the Vita project is now on hold for at least 3 or 4 weeks because tax season is temporarily over. And so I'm going to hold off pitching the Vita project this week.
All right. Next is Plog Along.
Hello. Last week we worked on a few different things, mostly fixing some stray Android bugs and doing a little bit of extra work on local achievements. And I think this week we will probably add some aggregated stats for regions, for the local area, and potentially some other bug fixes. I'm not exactly sure, but plenty to do.
Great. Thanks, Brian. Next is Clean Slate.
Yeah, so last week we looked through the user experience feedback we received, took some time to understand it and created tasks that we can work on in the future. We're still working on making the juvenile sealing app live, working with partners to get hosting set up for that. We've also been working on automated testing for our juvenile sealing app to make it easier to adjust things as we go forward. And the data team is still working on analyzing the Massachusetts prosecution data.
Great. Thanks, Jeremy. Next, or I guess last but not least, Windfall Awareness.
Thank you, Matt. Last week we worked on we're bringing the different pieces from the last 3 or 4 months together. That involved taking the government official Social Security calculator and putting that together with the format research that we had done and format parsing and TypeScript and JavaScript, and then plugging that together with the C code, which we've compiled to JavaScript, and then outputting to React, which we're going to continue this week. So if you're interested in any of those things, C++, JavaScript, React, come on over to Windfall Awareness or Social Security and policy.
Great. Thanks, Thad. So those are all the projects. So, if you're working on something, you can say goodbye now and enjoy the rest of your evening. Happy hacking. And everyone else that's new can stay in here with me. And in a couple minutes, we'll get started with orientation.